Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked.
And today's topic is going to be all about UFOs, unidentified flying objects, and UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons.
Surprise, surprise. Heather, you're doing aliens again?
Of course I'm doing aliens again. Why not? Especially, I thought it would be good to continue this topic because of what has been happening in our media recently with the Chinese weather balloon and spy balloon and UFOs and UAPs that are
all over the world
right now. So I actually had a friend that introduced me to this topic, and I had to do an episode on it because of the Jenna just lit up our little mascot here.
I got an alien. I went to the Great Wolf Lodge a few weeks ago and got Heather this little stuffed alien because she loves aliens, and the eyes glow different colors.
It's so cute.
I've never seen the aliens with different colors. Like, if you guys saw this, you'd know what I was talking about. It's like the standard alien, little stuffed animal that you get, but the eyes like light up different colors. It's really cool.
It's really
But I just grabbed it, and we always have it with us.
It's very motivating.
Yes. Okay, sorry about that. Go on.
So, what I was saying is I had a friend that introduced this to me, and I thought it would be very appropriate to do an episode on it. So, as we begin discussing the UFOs and UAPs, or alien extraterrestrial beings that have been cited and observed, these actually trace back to biblical times and ancient Egypt.
Wow.
Modern day officials and everyday people even now around the world. So this is something that it's not a new phenomenon, as we know. This is something that people have been reportedly seeing phenomenon and UFOs since the beginning biblical times. The experiences of these encounters have left many people around the world with unexplainable marks, confusion, loss of time, and they've actually had almost like outer body experiences or almost like a near-death experience, and they feel like they've had direct contact and communication.
Really? Because whenever they do near-death experiences and people are like, oh, I spent 5 minutes in heaven, or I saw angels, or I saw God, do you think that these people are atheists, so they just think they're seeing UFOs? Or do you think that the people who are seeing God and angels are actually seeing UFOs and thinking they're God and aliens due to their religion? I mean God and angels, not aliens.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And I think it's possible because, you see like a light, and then they say like when the alien craft, you would see like a beam.
Yeah, it's very similar. I wonder. Ooh.
Yes, so
I wonder who's telling the truth.
I don't know, and that's the kind of thing like we won't know until we die. But
I was just gonna say, yeah.
But
don't worry, I'll haunt you and let you know.
Oh, please do.
Yeah,
I promise I'll haunt you too.
Okay, whoever goes first.
One of us will haunt. We will haunt each other.
Yeah, I'll do it through lights.
Through lights?
Yeah.
I'll do it through
lights. I think are
like the radio way. Or something. Like
no,
I'll make like weird static. Like
yeah, I always hear that anyways. Go on. It needs to be a song. We need to pick out a song right now.
Oh,
we'll figure out a song, and then that's how we'll communicate.
I did it again.
Oh my god, that would be random if it started to play, because you don't really hear that on the radio. You do every so often. Like I heard "Quit Playing Games with My Heart" from Backstreet Boys this morning on the way over here.
Did you hear that Backstreet Boys and NSYNC are going to go on tour together?
I've been hearing that for like 3 years, and I don't believe it. And first of all, Justin Timberlake won't even do that, so whatever. He's too like, he's too like up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it would be "Oops, I Did It Again."
Okay,
that's what I would.
Let's do that one.
Because it'd be like, "Oops, I'm here again."
Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, very good. Okay, good.
So going back to our UFO, UAP, alien extraterrestrial beings that have been sighted, there was a huge increase of sightings in the U.S. In 1947 after Roswell. After
Oh,
Roswell, everything started I think people were just more aware, looking to the skies, maybe even more so, even though they...
For now, this day and age.
Day and age, yes.
Yeah.
And more people began seeing mysterious objects in the sky. So as a result, the U.S. Air Force enlisted an astronomer.
Okay.
So they had Alan Hynek, I think I said that correctly. And Alan started the Project Sign. So Project Sign was established in 1948 by the Air Force by Nathan Twining. He was the head of the Air Technical Service Command, which was initially named Project Saucer.
Ooh.
So they're really now Project Saucer, they are the Air Force, they're looking for more of these.
And then did you hear that? I think Biden recently did its own UFO thing. They announced it. Did I tell you that? I think I forgot.
What did Biden's administration say?
They're doing their own UFO research. You know, we keep seeing
so
military research.
Okay.
It's they're doing a research project.
Well, I think there's always been one ongoing since 47.
Yeah, but it has to come every so often and has to reappear, and the new president has to be like, woohoo, look what I'm doing, something new.
True. Yeah. Well, that's good that he's openly telling the public that he's doing that, because a lot of times before things were in secrecy and a lot of this stuff was just released, we didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So Project Sign was established in 1948 by the Air Force, like I said, by Nathan Twining, who was the head of the Air Technical Service Command, and was initially named Project Saucer. The goal of the project was to collect, evaluate, and distribute within the government all information related to UFO sightings on the premise they might represent a national security concern. So their main thing was, is what are these UFOs? One, of course, they want to know what they are, because is this a national security problem? Do we need to, is this another country? This is 47. We just had World War II. So, everyone is still on high alert because of World War II. So then in 1949, the following year, Project Grudge was started, and it was a short-lived project funded by the U.S. Air Force also to investigate the UFOs. Project Grudge, entire goal was to just alleviate public anxiety over UFOs and try to convince the public that UFOs were merely weather balloons, conventional aircraft, planets, meteors, optical illusions, solar reflections, and even large hailstones.
Okay. So that's just one hailstone.
Yeah, it's just a hailstone.
Just one.
It's just
Wouldn't
a hailstone.
That be a fucking android? Or not an android?
Android? You mean a drone?
No, they didn't have drones. No, a meteor.
Well, yeah, I said
asteroid.
Asteroid. You're an android.
Android.
They didn't have androids back then.
They didn't have Jones either.
They didn't have that. That's too, yeah. Oh my gosh. So you make me laugh. Project officials recommended that the project would be reduced because the Air Force was so interested in UFOs and UAPs that just sparked people even more so to believe that it was extraterrestrial life, because they're like, okay, if this isn't a being from outer space, why the fuck do you guys care about it?
Yeah, why are you trying to cover it?
Yeah.
The more attention that the government gives to something to cover it up, it's like, nope, it's the other way.
Yeah. And then so what ended up happening is people were starting to have what they called war hysteria atmosphere. So Now there's people that are
they're
thinking...
hysterical. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're all going to die.
Now they're thinking...
Shit's in the sky. Don't look up.
Exactly. They're thinking, okay, why are they trying to figure out what these things are in the sky? Are we going to have a World War III? Like, you know what I mean? Because if they're not thinking aliens, they're thinking, okay, is this like another country coming to bomb us? You know, after World War II. So, you know, there's a whole war hysteria atmosphere. So, with that being said, on December 27th, 1949, the Air Force announced the termination of the project because there was just too much of public interest. There was just too much war hysteria, and it was drawing too much attention to it. But however, it did continue in a small capacity until 1951. They just didn't tell the general public about it. Like it was just kind of was under wraps, and it wasn't as heavily funded or anything like that.
Which is totally normal for the government just to be like,
It was just done. So when it was done, they actually converted it to Project Blue Book. So Project Blue Book was a code name for the systematic study of unidentified flying objects.
We've mentioned this before, we are going to do you were going to do an episode on it.
Yeah, and this is just
Blue Book and Blue Beam and all that, and we've mentioned it. I've come across it in some of my stuff, and I'm not even doing aliens.
It constantly comes up because anytime you talk about the Air Force, these projects come up because these are Air Force projects. So because we're talking about the United States Air Force, and just going down the timeline, naturally it's coming up again. So Project Blue Book, it ran from 1952 to 1969, and it was just another study of the UFOs, and it was terminated on December 17th of 1969. The project was headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio.
I was going to ask you where that was.
In Ohio.
Uh-huh.
And Project Blue Book had two goals. The main goal was to the same as prior, pretty much, determine if UFOs were a threat to the national security and to scientifically analyze UFO-related data. So, which about 13,000 UFO phenomenons were reported and investigated. Of those, 701 still remain unexplained. So those encounters, and I'm sure there's even more. That's just from that project. So, I mean, we've all probably known someone that has had some kind of like experience where they thought they saw something in the sky, or maybe they saw something now with social media, they saw something, and there's CGI and stuff now and everything, but the way that the government coming out and saying that we shot these down, it's coming up even more, so people are even more attracted to the whole idea of like what is really out there. People have been talking about this since biblical times, so it's not like this is going to be going away anytime soon. Like, it's been around this entire time. Mm-hmm. There's people now that feel like there's a way that you can actually make contact. And
you keep saying biblical time. I just want to just hold on, because biblical time is only like 2,000 years ago. The Egyptians were like before the biblical time.
I know, but
I guess biblical time, because if you go back to the Old Testament.
It's just basically the whole point of even saying
I know, it's just for
Egypt,
how long it is.
And it's not like within this past, that they just been talking about on the news this past week or whatever.
Yeah.
Been like
forever, since the beginning of mankind.
Exactly.
Not even mankind, dinosaur kind.
Who knows? Who really knows?
Maybe they put them in there here.
Maybe we could be spliced with their DNA. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. So, a lot of people have had close encounters, and the close encounters are...
What is it called? Close encounters of the fifth kind? Or third kind? Is it fifth?
It's fifth kind. So that's what I was getting into, is the close encounters...
Sorry.
No, that's okay. The close encounters are classified according to their differences, since, many people's personal experiences are so unique. You and I could look at the same object in the sky, and you could have a totally different experience than I do, because a lot of people, they have like a spiritual awakening, or they have a spiritual connection for whatever reason to it. They can feel it, they can feel the energy, they connect to it. So I might look at it and just be like, oh, whoa, what is that little thing flying around, and not really think much. You might look at it and you can like hear them communicating to you.
That's so weird.
Because they're talking to you, they're communicating with you telepathically. This goes back to 47,
so
Roswell.
Yeah.
Telepathic communication.
Yeah, that's so
it's
weird.
all
It's all connected. It's
all connected. So, with that being said, each sighting is different in how each person perceived it and what they accounted, So the encounters have to be split up in different categories. So there's close encounters of the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Oh, so you were right.
So what's... Okay, are you going to get into
We're going to get into the encounters.
Good. I want to hear all about that.
So, which is also known as CE5. So CE5 basically just stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Oh!
Yeah, so it's a little acronym.
I kept seeing CE5 all over your paperwork, and I didn't know what the fuck it meant. And now I feel so stupid.
It's just an acronym for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which is a term that was created by Dr. Stephen Greer. And Dr. Stephen Greer is the founder of CSETI, which is a project in the world's most renowned research in extraterrestrial life. He has been fighting over 20 years for the UFO secrecy that has been kept in place by the governments, the military, and anyone in the world, essentially, that wants to keep the ET technology hidden from us. Because do you know why they might want to hide the ET technology?
Because they want to use it for their own military, for their own spying, for their own anything, or just the plain fact that if we knew that aliens were real, the American people might actually try to go out there and find them themselves, or it might create complete chaos and they'd be hysterical all over again.
I think all of those reasons are very good points. The main point that, and I agree with all of those, but the main point why Dr. Stephen Greer believes that the ET technology is being hidden from the public is because it would, if the government actually used the ET technology for the good of mankind, it would completely mean the end of the use of our fossil fuel consumption as we know it across the world. So we would not need fossil fuel, and they obviously profit on...
They need it for the money, and that's so ridiculous because I thought they cared about our planet so much.
Yeah, no.
They don't. They don't give a shit, or else they wouldn't have done half the things that they've done.
That's very true.
That we can all plainly see that aren't conspiracies. Just normal... Turn on the news. Yeah, go on.
So, Dr. Greer, he is very much involved in the sense that he has met with CIA officials, the White House staff, Joint Chiefs of Staff, senior members of Congress, congressional committees, senior United National leadership and diplomats. I mean, it goes on and on and on, from the United Kingdom to Europe to America. I mean, he is very respected, and he's very known in the community and has worked with the government and everything. And now that we have gone over a little bit of the history about how the Air Force has been involved and Dr. Greer, this is where we get into the close encounters, the CE5, and how that relates to the categories defined by the military and the contact protocols. So the contact protocols merge science and spirituality Spirituality. I can't say the word. Spirituality. That is centered in the serene peace and stillness of the oneness of the universe, of the consciousness. So basically it's like saying that everything is connected. We are all one, and we are connected to these beings. Not saying connected in any other way other than how we could be connected to a tree or connected to a flower, how we're all just
we're all stardust,
we're
right?
all one. So they have ways of communicating with the visitors.
Who? The military?
People. No,
or
us.
just us? Okay, us.
Probably the military too.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. They communicated with them in Roswell in 47 telepathically. This is all telepathically. All of this is telepathically and spiritually. And remember how in Roswell, how they said that the alien said that they were able to navigate their crafts by using their feelings and their thoughts and their emotions, and
almost like the aliens on Home. Remember the movie Home?
Yes.
Have you seen the movie
Home?
I
have seen
They just
that
hold
movie.
the little thing and they just go.
And that's exactly what is depicted in one of them in the encounters here, because to be one with the universe, which is in us and all around us. We are all connected. Every thought, every word, every spoken vibrated through the deepest part of space and time indefinitely. So like even this conversation right now, it's going on through the stars, and it's just going to keep going and going and going. Like every word vibrates, and it just keeps going and going, going, going. Like that's scientifically like proven.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
It's just
but
like a drop in the water, and all the ripples
keeps rippling,
and like with every was it Newton's gravity or whatever? You push something, and the gravity still goes. Like it just keeps going. That's so weird.
It is really weird. So the CE5 is basically the acronym for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. The first 4 kinds of contact, E1, 2, 3, and 4, describe ET initiating contact with humans. So that is basically them contacting us. So if we want to get into the specifics, the first kind, which would be a close kind, is when a human just witnesses a UFO in the sky, but it leaves no evidence. So that's number 1. That's the first one.
Okay.
So it's just like we were saying, if you look up at the sky and you see something, you're like, ooh, what's that? And then it's gone. It's just gone like that. Blink of an eye. Okay. That was it.
Have you had any UFOs? Have you seen any? Have you ever had a CE1?
I have had a CE1 when I was a kid.
I have too.
I have. So I used to live in a little ranch when I was a kid. We lived on a ranch. And
Heather grew up out in the sticks.
I grew up in the sticks in Southern California. And when I was maybe about 8 or 9, I did tell my mom that I used to sleepwalk a lot too. I was a sleepwalker. And I don't know if I was sleepwalking at that time, but she saw me, I guess I must have been looking out the window. And then she came in the room and was like, okay, whatever time it is, what are you doing? And I had explained to her that what I saw in the sky, but it had already left.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, the way my mom is, she's very intrigued and she believes in everything. She's like, draw a picture of it. And I drew a picture of one large, saucer-shaped craft with a bunch of little ones coming off of it, like little pods.
Wow.
And I remember telling her that it was very bright and colorful.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Really?
Mine was really bright and colorful, so I always thought that I was tripping.
No,
a billion different colors, everywhere.
Super bright and super colorful.
There was a lot of colors, all the colors.
All the color, like a rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was just talking to somebody about that the other
up.
day about rainbows and light and reflections.
Yeah, it's all the colors. It wasn't like a rainbow, like red, orange, yellow.
No, it wasn't imperfect.
It was just all it was just all over them. Oh my gosh. I always thought that I was crazy because you always see the people, depictions, pictures, and it's always just a white light. Or maybe a blue light. Possibly
colorful.
Green, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's always, What? I'm tripping.
And I've never had this conversation with you before.
We've never talked about this before, and I don't really tell people because I always feel like, oh no, it was obviously like a figment of my imagination or something because it was so colorful.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you done with your story so I can tell mine?
Yeah, tell me yours. No, that was it. That's why I looked out the window and I saw it was the colorful. I told my mom, everything I just said. Yeah.
I'm tripping. My mouth and my jaw's like on the floor right now. So I was going down the road and I was like 17. Yeah. But I was passenger. So someone was driving and we were going down a long road. We're in this town that I grew up in.
Yeah.
And we both saw it. And we were looking straight and
while
right
you were
above,
driving?
Yeah, right above the road. But we were driving into town, so it was all lit up. So I was always like, well, maybe I'm just tripping. You know what I mean?
That's what everybody thinks.
We must have just seen something out of the corner of our eye or something. And right ahead of us, but it was probably like 2 or 3 miles up the road, was like a very colorful, and it was almost like it was spinning, or it was just like super colorful though. I just remember like the bright lights. I'll never forget the bright ass different colored lights, like bright pink. Like it almost be like, the only way to describe it would be like one of those whenever you go to like Disneyland or something, and like one of those things for the kids where you press the button and it spins around different colors. Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah, like the lights.
The lights at night,
when they sell them. Yes.
It'd be a night thing. And they spin. You press the button and
I know what you're talking about. It's like the little wand or something.
Yeah, the wand or whatever, and it spins all the different colors.
Yep.
That's the only thing, like, those bright-ass lights. Like, it was, like, that bright. It wasn't, like, dull, light pink. It was, like, bright pink and bright. Yes. Like, neon-y, bright. Yeah. It made me feel like a circus.
Close. It must have been very close to you.
It made me feel like a circus colors almost.
Did the car kind of light up, too? Like, was it
my car?
The car you were in, did it kind of light up?
No, it was like had to have been, like, a mile or two above. Okay, like, up. Yeah. It was, like, far away.
So it wasn't super close to you.
No, but like, I don't even tell people about that because I feel like I'm crazy.
So you had a CE1.
I definitely had a CE1.
I wonder if you've ever had a CE2.
Could that have been a CE2?
Well,
what's a CE2?
That is a close encounter of the second kind when a UFO encounter leaves behind physical evidence on the ground or traces in the sky, such as scorched marks or any kind of tracks, or maybe if you've ever seen a crop circle or anything like that. Anything that has formed, overnight, possibly farmers see them, passerbyers see them, but there's actually no logical reason what it could be.
Oh my God, I know.
Or earth energies or anything.
I bet we've all had a CE2 because there's no reason why I put 2 socks in the dryer and only one comes out. And who the fuck is like stealing my Tupperware?
I don't know.
Because I have all these lids. I threw away literally I went through my Tupperware drawer and I threw away 25 lids that had no Tupperware. Who's stealing the Tupperware? Who's stealing the socks? That's unexplained. Maybe it's UFOs.
I recently just went to Costco and got a whole new set of Tupperware because I got so sick of trying to find lids. So I'm like...
Yeah, just fuck it. Just buy new.
Yeah, and then I'm so paranoid. I just leave it in the box on my...
Yeah, it's been there for 3 months. What are you doing with it?
I just leave it on the... Because if I need anything, I just take it out of there and then I wash it and then I just put it back. So I'm like, it's in the box.
Are you serious that box has been opened?
It's open, yeah.
Oh my God! I thought that was just an unopened box.
No, it's open. It's because I don't want to lose the pieces.
Oh my God!
Damn it!
On her kitchen counter for months, there has been
December
this box of one of those 48 pieces or whatever.
Costco.
And I just
the box.
It looks just like. You just got it, and it's sitting. And I totally just thought that you just hadn't gotten around to putting it away and opening it.
No, I use it.
Do you know what I did during Christmas time? Walmart had a Black Friday deal on whatever the Rubbermaid ones or whatever.
Oh, okay.
The 28 piece.
Yeah.
Which I always buy for the trailer, for the race car trailer, for the desert, everything. I always buy it.
Yeah.
And they had a deal. It was $9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, this has to be wrong. So like I put 3 in my like online cart because I could buy it online and pick it up. I had like 4 days to pick it up.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It was Black Friday deal.
Yeah.
Why am I able to go on whatever? Thank COVID. So
right?
That's why everything's online. So I ended up getting like over 100 pieces or whatever. I got like 3 big boxes. I still haven't opened yet because I want to go disperse them where they need to go. But for $30, it was like $28 total.
That's really
out
good.
the door, like delivered into my car.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I got mine for free because my employment, they gave everyone Costco gift cards for Christmas.
Oh, I thought they picked that out for you. They gave everyone Tupperware.
No,
I'm like,
they gave.
That's actually a pretty good gift.
So they shop at Costco weekly for like groceries and stuff because it's a residential and facility and stuff. And so anyway, long story short, it was a pretty good number on there, like a dollar amount. So I keep going to Costco. Everything is free every time I go now. I'm just like free. So I didn't pay anything for it, but I think it was like $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's fun.
Yeah. So
I think that'd be a great gift just in general. I might do that to my employees next year.
Yeah, just give them
everybody. No, not even the Costco card. Tupperware. Everybody needs Tupperware. Literally, every guy always brings their lunch in with Tupperware, like all the time. Everybody, that's like the perfect gift. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs Tupperware. There's not one single person in the entire world that doesn't need Tupperware. You are welcome, by the way, for every Christmas gift from now on, birthday gift. Everybody gets Tupperware.
They're going to be like,
I'll be like Oprah. Like, one for you, Tupperware for you. Everyone gets a Tupperware. Okay, so I have not had a CE2. To answer your question 5 minutes later.
So I'm sure that you have had a CE2, but not directly. Like I'm sure you've gone online and you've seen crop circle.
The crop circle. But I don't think that's mine. That's somebody else's.
Or unusual like rock formations or
but people
different
do that.
things. So that's the second one. The third one would be where a human can visibly see beings or occupants in the UFO. So you physically
that would be so close.
So that's like going back to Roswell, like 47. Like they saw it crash.
No, that would
and they saw the beings
the people
in there.
Well,
like
could you imagine if you were driving down the road and a UFO was that close?
They're all waving at you. I'm like,
pacing you in the car.
What's up?
Yeah, like how?
So like Roswell
do they not have tinted windows?
What, the UFO?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How would you see it?
I think that goes to me. That goes back to like crashing. Like
crashing, and then you see
Roswell.
them walk away.
I just think of Roswell.
Because I would think that they would have like mirrored windows.
I don't know if that they necessarily have windows, but I mean,
how would you not have windows? You'd have to know where you're going. What's the point
of having? I
don't think
that they need to have like too many windows.
But I feel like they should be able to look outside. Like, have you ever seen a UFO without a window depicted in any movie or anything?
Yes, I have. Do you remember the movie The Navigator?
I never watched that, The Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
I never watched that. I know it's one of those movies I had to watch. I finally watched Pretty Woman for the first time on Valentine's Day.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was cute.
It was
cute. The first time I'd ever seen that. It's one of those like movies I have to watch eventually. So that's how I feel about Flight of the Navigator.
You have to watch Flight of the Navigator Navigator because the way that the craft is depicted, it's like metal, kind of like not necessarily a sphere. It's kind of like a clam shape or something. I don't know. It has like a weird shape to it. And then it just has a chair for one
navigator.
Pilot. I was like pilot, you know, trying to think of the word. And what happens is it doesn't necessarily have windows, but when he sits in there, it has like a screen where he can see.
Oh, that makes sense. Like a camera, like almost if you're in your house and you can see the security cameras.
Like the entire front of. It's almost like when you go into. Have you been to the Reuben H. Space?
Yeah.
And you sit down and it's like all around you, and it's like it's like that. It's like that.
Okay,
inside.
well, they probably have never been to the Reuben H. Fleet Center, which is in San Diego.
Yeah, so it's in San Diego, and basically it's just like
it's a big museum,
auditorium.
But
I'm thinking of.
Well, yeah, it's a big science museum that's very hands-on-y. Like everybody in California goes to it. At least the southern part of California has all been here.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you go when you're a kid in school.
Everybody
for,
goes
school
there,
trips.
yeah. And inside that's very like hands-on, and you can do like experiments and stuff. And then you go into this big auditorium.
Well, it's like a planetarium, isn't it called? What's
Is that
it called?
I don't fucking know.
I think it's planetarium.
I think it's an exploratorium. How about that?
The thing is it's like a bubble, and you sit in there. And all around, it's completely 360, like all around you. Or not 360.
No, it's not behind you. It's not behind you.
But
it's like
it appears.
It's almost like it's like
above you and to the sides of you.
It's bigger than IMAX.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and it's rounded. It's almost like when you go to Soaring, California.
Yeah.
Except you're not soaring, you're just sitting.
Yeah. But you have a similar experience where you can see, like, depending on, they'll do, like, under the ocean, like, or space and different things. So that's how I think of
that would make sense.
That's how it would be.
All around
like
you. A screen just all around you.
Yeah. I don't know. Of course, I've never been in a UFO.
I think if you had been in a UFO, we would have already seen you on the news. Or in the loony bin.
No, I mean, I think that I definitely... have had
I just think it's so
I've
crazy.
had telepathic experiences with extraterrestrials. Like, I know for a fact that I have, and I can tell you that whole other story about what that is.
When you get to the next kind.
Well, no.
Is it
I think that
so the fourth. Oh yeah, the third kind. Okay, that's whenever you see.
The third kind is when you can visibly see the beings or occupants in a UFO, specifically, like in a UFO, when you can see them.
Yeah. In the UFO, so not
UFO.
Not walking out, so they can't have the...
Well, it could be Roswell, it could be crashed and be on the ground. Or what if you did astral projection...
like an out of body.
Your mind, and you can visibly see.
I wish that you guys could see Heather's face right now, because she's like pounding her head with her eyes closed so tight, and just like I'm pointing up. She's like pretending like she's astral.
No, I'm putting my pointer finger on my third eye, and I'm pressing on it, and I'm saying, if you astral projected.
Oh my god, that's why people do that, because that's where your third eye is supposed to be.
Yeah, if you use your mind and you told them, like, okay, I'm sitting in my studio in my soundproof high-tech forts right now. Come and visit me. If you only knew.
I think that we should, for Halloween, we should put a third eye. Like, paint on a third eye right there and be like, and just be like psychic people, and just, be psychics for Halloween. Be like Madame Tussauds.
Well, we could put like a little crystal there to like charge our third eye. You're so giggly today. I love it.
It just happened right now because I finally had my coffee. You drank all my coffee? What happened?
I did not touch her coffee.
Did I drink it all?
You drank it all.
That's why I'm so giggly then. Where did it go?
I don't know.
Dang.
You drank it.
All right.
Let's move on to the fourth kind. I can tell you're really enjoying this topic. So the close encounter of the fourth kind would be a human being abducted by beings and taking on board the UFO, which can include seeing the beings or occupants while on board, or having direct communication with them telepathically. Also, maybe having actually spoken with them verbally. So it could be telepathically or verbally. Now you are on.
And this is only the fourth kind?
This is the fourth kind.
What's the fifth kind? Where they dissect you?
So the fifth kind.
I was joking.
Not serious. No, it's a little bit more than that.
So have you had a fourth kind visit?
Have I had a fourth kind visit? So let me think about this.
I feel like I've had not ET fourth kind visit, but I have had like dreams and like stuff like that where weird shit has happened.
But dreams. I think dreams is part of it. Dreams is like another dimension or another realm.
But I always thought that it was just the dead communicating with me.
Well, that's true.
Not
Yeah.
extraterrestrials.
But I think that extraterrestrials can
Oh shit,
communicate
do you think that that's where dead people go?
to the dimension or to the plane
To
or
the
to
aliens.
the I think they could be interdimensional beings, so they could go to another dimension. They could be from another dimension, not necessarily another galaxy. They could be from another dimension.
Yeah, that would make more sense because of all the ghost sightings and stuff.
But
like,
I mean,
they're still here.
extraterrestrials, though. I mean,
Yeah, but I don't know. Okay, my
Yeah.
mind's getting too big.
it's a lot to take in. It is. So, and this isn't okay. So this me like speaking on the CE5. This is just like a little like nothing. Like it gets so much deeper than this. Trust me. So this is just basically going over the points, like the 5 points. We'd have to do a whole nother deep dive to really get into it. But the encounter of the fourth kind is, again, when a human is abducted or
And
taken
they
on
speak.
board, include seeing the beings, occupants, having dialogue with them, whether it is actually speaking or telepathically. Now, you asked me, have I had a fourth kind experience? And if we're talking about dreams and we're talking about like dimensions, I definitely do believe that I have communicated telepathically with extraterrestrial beings, but they came to me again when I was a child. And with the experience I had, like I told you, I used to sleepwalk a lot when I was little.
Yeah.
And I slept walk, and I went into the bathroom and I was brushing my teeth while sleeping. You know, you do weird shit when you're sleepwalking.
Yeah, Brad's peed in the trash can.
Yeah.
Max peed in the trash can a few months ago.
Oh my god.
In the kitchen trash can, we were watching TV, and he gets up, and he just like comes out the hallway through the living room, walks past us, goes to the kitchen, and pulls down his pants and starts peeing. And we were like, "What are you doing?" And then all of a sudden, he like came to, and he was like started to cry, and he was just like really confused.
Aww.
And he was embarrassed.
Yeah, you're not supposed to wake up people when they're
We
sleepwalking.
didn't. We didn't.
No,
we
I
didn't
know.
even-
I'm
but
just
yeah,
saying,
no,
like,
I know that. But
because they can get really scared and
he
confused.
got really scared. I think because he felt it physically, like something happening. So he's like, "Wait, what the fuck? Like, what's going on?" Like he felt his pee coming out or something. I don't know. He woke.
Well, probably just woke him up.
He
just
woke himself up. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Go on. I just
So-
think that's so funny.
It is funny. My dad used to sleepwalk, and he used to do stuff like that too. But not like pee on the floor, but he would like. Yeah, he would sleepwalk around and stuff too. So I think that's where I got it. Was from my dad.
I think it's a genetic thing.
It's like hereditary or something.
Yeah.
So basically, I sleptwalk into the restroom, and I was brushing my teeth, and I just remember looking up in the restroom, looking in the bathroom, looking up, and there was no ceiling. It was just the night sky and the stars, but it was like as close to me as the ceiling would be. It wasn't like it was far away. The stars and everything was just, it's almost like I could see the entire universe, which I couldn't, but I could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I looked up, I just continued brushing my teeth, and I was just looking up thinking it was so peaceful and calming and pretty, and I was looking at the stars, and like I said, it was almost like I could see the entire universe, because it was like my eyes were telescopes, and I could like zoom in and look at this constellation and zoom in and look at this galaxy, and like I was like going, my mind was just going all over, and I was just brushing my teeth, and then I started noticing these little faces looking down at me, and it was what somebody would call like a gray, I guess, if you were putting like a name on it, where it had the shape of an almond face and the big eyes, the black eyes, and it was kind of like grayish looking, and all I saw was the heads, and they were all just kind of looking down at me all around.
I'm gonna have a nightmare tonight.
No, it was, this is the thing, I was not afraid of them, and they were talking to me telepathically, and they were telling me like, hey, like basically like, how have you been? We came to check on you and make sure you're doing okay. And I was brushing my teeth, and I was probably, I want to say like 7-ish. And you have to remember, this was the early 80s, very early 80s. I lived on a ranch. We had one TV channel, Channel 6. And this is during VHS times. I had never seen like a movie or a magazine or anything with those little alien faces. Like, I didn't have TV, we didn't have internet, we didn't have like, so I don't know where my brain would have came up with that image.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? But that's my first recollection of that image. And in my dream, because it was a dream, I was sleepwalking. It was like I also telepathically was saying to them, hey, like, I'm happy you're back to see me. And I remember thinking, oh, the Watchers are back. The Watchers are here. And they weren't in my dream. They weren't aliens. They weren't creepy. It wasn't anything scary. It was the Watchers. And that was that experience. I had a second experience on the ranch. Actually, that would be my third experience, because the first experience is when I saw the craft looking out the window when I was sleepwalking. The third, and I don't know what order these go in. The third experience was when I was laying in my bed. We had a bunk bed, and I was laying on the top of the bunk bed, and I actually was awake. I believe I was awake. Whether I was really awake or if it was a very lucid dream, I don't know. But I believe I was awake, and I heard like this little like running, because we had wood floors. We didn't have carpet. It was like the little, and it was like a weird little, like a little noise. And I don't know if I heard it telepathically or actually heard it, but I had a little brother at the time, 5 years younger than me.
Well, you still have your little
No,
brother.
I know, I still have him, but
just bigger now.
I'm just saying, like, at the time, I had a little brother. So I thought he was, like, playing around, you know. I didn't think anything about it. And I just kind of dismissed it and tried to go back to sleep. And then the bunk bed started, like, shaking, like somebody was climbing up the bunk bed. And then I was like,
I'm still gonna have nightmares tonight.
In my brain, I'm thinking my little brother is gonna like be like,
jump
ah,
on you
or something, you know? And it was completely pitch dark. I don't know what time it was. And then I like open my eyes, and I'm laying there, and I see the face.
Oh,
just like I saw in the restroom, like prior or after or before, I don't know, whenever, looking down at me. But because it's over me like this, the eyes are where my mouth is, because it's like looking down like this over me, and I'm like I'm trying to.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're backwards. Like, yeah.
And it just looked at me, and then I went, and it was far enough away that like I went like this, and I pulled the covers over my head. Like I just went like this. I didn't say anything. I just pulled the cover over my head, and then it climbed back down, and then it just like ran away. It's like ran away again. And I remember telling my mom about that, and I remember thinking it was one of it was a child extraterrestrial that wanted to come play with me again, because it used to like to come and visit me to play, and that it like somehow was there to like play with me, like it was my friend. And it wasn't scary. It just scared me at the moment, because I was like expecting it to be my brother. And then I put the blanket over my head, like I was shocked, like, oh crap. But then it saw that, like, it recognized that it startled me, so it like it went away, like
it ran away, yeah.
Like, oh, it scared you. And I guess I had another one too where I was flying, another dream where I was flying, and I was flying through space. And I could see all of space, but all around in space, there was all these different geometric shapes that I can't even explain, that I've never seen before, and colors I've never seen before, that I can't even put into words, like, now while I'm awake. I can't even say it's like, purple mixed with green. Like, no, it's like beyond that. Like, I saw, my dream took me to like another dimension, another reality. And I remember flying through all these different shapes, and they kept changing shape, and everything kept changing shape and changing color.
Like the tesseract or whatever is like the box within the box within the box or whatever, right? To like time travel and stuff.
Yeah, so I do believe in astral projection, because I feel like that's what I was doing in those moments.
Because you're saying that there's all these geometric shapes.
I mean, as a kid, I didn't know what that was, but yeah, that's the only way I can describe it now as an adult.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, you know, it'd be really cool if people sent in their own UFO experiences.
Oh yes, please do, because
that would be so fun to do, like an episode on UFOs like experiences.
And I might even have like, there could be like repressed memories that I don't even remember.
Yeah, because it seems like you just remembered that one like right now. So I bet that you do have I bet that talking about all this is going to bring out other things. Mm-hmm. That'll be really, because you've always been obsessed with like aliens and shit.
Well, that's why I have huge tattoo on my leg, because I really feel like they are the watchers. They are, I don't want to say creators, because I don't know, but I do feel like they are watching us, and they have been watching us. And when it goes back to Roswell, and then when Ariel had said that they were the protectors of Earth, and like they owned it, was their domain, and they were here to make sure that we survive and that we advance, not just as like a like as a whole planet, like we ascend to the next level, and so we can be part of the galactic society, and you know, I
feel like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And I do believe that they have been coming here to just, they are trying to help us. I don't think that there's anything bad. And also, that also goes back to this whole E5, CE5, that's the other thing, the other side of it, the conspiracy side too of it, is that all of the governments and all of the, you know, like our government, like how they're shooting them down and stuff. The thing is like, we've never been like fired on by any of them. Yeah. We've never been attacked.
It's us attacking them.
It's us attacking them. So it's like they are like
friendly
and kind and want to help mankind and want to help the planet for whatever reason.
Can't do that. We have to just be like, danger, doesn't look like us, shoot down.
Well, we shoot them down because the government already knows so much about them that it would ruin their whole world order. It would change everything. Because we rely on fossil fuel. We would have different technology that would actually prevent people from starving.
Why can't?
And it would be more of a united world and more of a cohesive, you know, there would be probably less war and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I want to get into the last one, which is the fifth kind. The fifth kind is a close encounter of the fifth kind, which is with a being that include experimentation, medical procedures, artificial insemination, semen removal, object insertion like microchips or different things of the nature. Mm-hmm. Also can include injuries and healings.
Okay.
And healings.
So whenever people get abducted and they're like, they inseminated me. Mm-hmm. That would be a fifth kind.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think that I've had any of that. I don't believe that I've had, like, been experimented on or done anything, like, procedures or anything, or injuries or healings or anything. I just think that mine was telepathically, like, through the dream state, you know, kind of like a dream, but I almost feel like when you dream, you go somewhere else. The other thing I wanted to say is that there is a long evidence that in ancient cultures, these people worshipped these so-called gods who were in fact extraterrestrial life forms looking very much like humans who came from the skies with great thunder and lightning, which now we would describe as spaceships. So it was just the way that it was. Like, they weren't gods. Yeah. They weren't coming down from heaven or whatever. They were, you know, whatever. Alien. They were actually just very much like us, coming down in a spaceship, and they just didn't know what it was. They didn't understand the technology, so they're like, it's a god with the great thunder, lightning.
Yeah, there's Zeus.
Exactly.
Zeus was the thunder, yeah.
Yeah. So, with all this being said, it's kind of to wrap it up, you can go on ufostalker.com and you can actually see like real-time UFO reports, and I'm pretty sure you can actually, if you have seen something, you can also report something yourself. It's a map that, you know, will show all over in real time. Also, if you want to try to connect telepathically with extraterrestrials and you're open to trying, anyone can, of course, try. The one is you want to be connected to one, like your consciousness, like try to, I don't really know how, but you want to try to be very open and have a sincere heart, clear intent, and you can try what's called CE5 meditation. And the meditation is a method that you can practice. You can go on. I've never done it, so I can't give you a detailed description, but you can go on YouTube and there's many different videos you can watch about how to do it. You can do it by yourself. You can do it within a group. And it's very important that the group is very cohesive and all the participants have the same goal and what they're doing, because it's kind of like the power of numbers, like the energy of each other. Like if we want to try to contact,
it's almost like
it's energy.
It's almost like when people are doing Ouija board or tarot or any of that,
or even
other
at
stuff.
church. Even at church when people are all together and they're singing their hymns and they're feeling like a spiritual connection. It's similar to that, because it's like, it's not saying that they're our gods. Like they. Yeah. But
not like church.
It's just the energy. The more people, the more energy.
And when you think about it, it's like everything, when you try to contact anything that's not physically seen but on a different dimension, that's what you're always supposed to do, is be one, and you're supposed to have a clear mind, and you're supposed to somehow state your intentions, be very specific, have
it's
a lot
just
of
like
people.
With
crystals, everything.
Yeah. And the last thing to mention is there is actually an app, which I'm going to download the app. I have not yet. And we are not sponsored at all by this app or anything. This is just
we're not sponsored at all. You want to sponsor us?
This is just based on our research. It's called CE5 app. It's on Apple. And it is basically described as an easy-to-use guide to help you contact extraterrestrial life. And you'll have to get the app to learn more, because, like I said, I have not gotten the app, but I'm going to.
That's so funny. And if you're a listening CE5 app and you would like us to, or you would like a sponsor, or the opposite, you would like us to sponsor, or how would we say that? If you would like us to advertise for you, let us know.
Well, we just did.
Yeah, we would love a sponsor. Thank you.
And so, so that's, there's so much more. And I know that people that are listening to this episode, that you already know about this. I know that there's so much more that we can touch on, this was just, like I said, the little pinprick of the, beginning of it. But this is all the information I have right now. And thank you for listening.
And please send in any ET UFO experiences that you've had. We would love to hear them. If we get enough, then maybe we'll share them with everybody. No matter what you send, we'll share. If it's, not saying we suck.
No, we want to hear.
We want to hear all of your
experiences, and maybe we can do like an episode where we read a few. Really, if there's some really interesting ones, we can read them and
we'd love to hear it. That'd be so much fun. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for listening, and please
share, like, subscribe, and listen to us where you listen to all of your podcasts,
and tell your friends. They'll want to hear too, I'm sure.
And I really think that if you do get the app and you do, go for it, and you do try to communicate with an extraterrestrial, and you do some kind of astral projection or something.
Tell us how it goes.
Please tell us, please. We want to know all about it. I'm very intrigued, because I haven't tried this yet, so I really want to know more.
Yeah, I want to know if anybody gets a hold of anybody. If anybody gets a hold of any extraterrestrial alien.
Yes, please do tell.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you.